Welcome to the CCC Canvas calls for February 25th. My name is Greg Beyrer, and I am working with @ONE on helping us as the system make good use of the Canvas community, which I'll be talking about here. This series of Canvas calls, we have focused on a particular tool and looking at a particular tool so that we can kind of share our experience using it and maybe answer questions. And I am excited to have Dave here, and also excited about you who are watching this recording. So hopefully this will be a good use of our time together. What I have put up here is a little Google Slides presentation, just a few things. And I realized that what I did not do, I could have done this before starting the recording, and that is, let's go back to slide 1 first of all. Okay. Here we are. What I could have done is actually gone through the housekeeping stuff before, and since this is a recording, I'm going to go ahead and fly through this. If we need to, we can go back. Dave, I assume that you're familiar with how the Confer stuff works. So the audio settings, obviously, we're able to talk to each other, so that's working. The chat messages, I will repeat anything that's written in the chat. Hopefully we'll get some people joining us, the chats are part of the recording. Emoticons, if you want to include those, you can. Closed captioning is being done, so yay, captioning, and I'm excited to have that as part of this, and that is included in the recording, of course. And then finally, at any time, you can save the chat or the whiteboard. Now, I don't think the whiteboard will be that savable since I'll be using screen sharing for most of it. But I'll go ahead and get to the main thing here. So, as I mentioned before, this is a part of an attempt by the Online Education Initiative working with @ONE to make effective use of the Canvas community. For those of you who are watching this recording and who are getting up to speed with Canvas, one of the great things that we liked about Canvas when we recommended that be used for the Online Education Initiative is how strong their user community is, and also how they solicit input from their users. So anyone in Canvas can get a user account on the community. And then within the Canvas community, there are various groups. So there are groups, there's a higher ed group, and there's a K-12 group. There's a group for instructional designers. So there's a group for people who are teaching. I think they have groups for people teaching in various fields. And we have a group just for California community colleges. So this is an invite-only group. We have to request basically to join. And what we're hoping over time is that we create a community of practice around this tool as more and more colleges join up with the OEI and start using Canvas. I have a number here that at a steering committee meeting on January 28th, it was reported that 47 colleges in our system are at some stage of having committed to and using the Canvas learning management system. There were a handful of colleges that were using Canvas prior to selection by the OEI, and since then we've had a couple of score of colleges that have joined up. So we expect that by the summer we will be more than half of the colleges in the state will be using this system. So we have great potential to share how we are using it and to share how we're using it to benefit our students and to help each other as we build this. And the Canvas community is going to be the place that hopefully that will happen. A second thing that we're excited about is we want to use the Canvas community as a way for us to collect our feedback on how Canvas can be improved to support our students. So although we have a tremendous diversity, both among our students and among our colleges, there are some things that we share as California's community colleges. There are some perspectives that we have that will be great if that could inform how Canvas develops its product. And it's actually part of the contract that we have with Canvas is to be able to give us a voice, a seat at the table when they're making their development decisions. So please keep an eye out within the community for opportunities to solicit feedback. And there's no reason to wait. If you have a great idea for how Canvas can be improved, any one of us can go into the community and propose that as an idea or vote on the existing ideas. Yeah. Dave, any thoughts on the community itself or where we could go with that? And, we are just getting started with not only with Canvas, but also using the community.
I feel like we just need to really expose people to the community. Some folks have expressed a little bit of frustration in literally just being overwhelmed with all the resources that are available. So I think, topics like this where we actually just kind of delve into it, show people about the actual California Community College, closed group, for example, will help kind of quell some people's frustrations or concerns about being overwhelmed. But I like that, the OEI is taking this very, very seriously in terms of making the community a resource for faculty. And I think once we get full implementations rolling around the state, we're going to see a lot more use of it.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into today's topic, the Canvas calls for organizing a particular topic. The first one we did last week was on the course homepage options, and today I called it making the most out of the syllabus. So I've been using Canvas primarily through in teaching other people how to use Canvas to teach with Canvas, and I'm teaching my 4th and 5th classes, Introduction to Teaching with Canvas. And so when I was looking at thinking of the topics for the Canvas calls, I'm thinking of what the people that I've been working with have been reporting are the places where they have the biggest questions, where they have needed the most help with stuff. And so that's kind of where we are with the syllabus. The comments that I will share are based both on my use of the tools and also, and probably more importantly, the reflections and the comments that people have shared with me, both through the courses I've been teaching and within the community and through the various people I've been talking to about Canvas. And there are just a couple of us here, so hopefully we'll have a nice conversation. And I'd love to hear, Dave, your experiences, because I know you've been using it as well. So kind of the thumbnail for the syllabus is I start off with these, you see the word syllabus in quotation marks, and my first point I like to make is the consequences of reserved words. One of the things that I have learned to tolerate, and I'm in the process of kind of getting to acceptance, is how these systems will take a word like syllabus and they will reserve that for a particular tool and won't let the faculty users change the name of the tool. So syllabus means something to me as an instructor. It means something, in my career as an educator, and the Canvas syllabus, in my view, does fulfill that. But when I first experienced Canvas and I saw this word syllabus, and I thought, great, I could put my syllabus there. It took some adjusting for me to get used to how the syllabus tool works. And again, this is the syllabus because it's the syllabus tool that cannot be renamed. So I'm in the process again of getting to that adjustment. There are basically 2 sections to the syllabus. There's a description, and then there is the bottom half. There's a table, which is an automatically generated course calendar and a list of assignments. And then finally, one last thing about the syllabus is that it is an option for the course homepage. So students can click on the course homepage and go directly there. Any first impressions, Dave, on the syllabus when you first learned about it? And
I found the syllabus to be, quite frankly, one of the more logical places to set as the homepage. And the rich text editor does almost everything. As a matter of fact, we've been hearing a lot of feedback from faculty that it's a great place to kind of put that welcoming image or banner that maybe folks are used to having in LMS system.
Thank you for asking that, because you'll see that mentioned actually is on this thing, so that's a good thing. Yeah, the welcome, I too like that, the welcome image or banner. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next slide here. So that first section, I talked about the descriptions and files. And you see here, I've got this idea of words and a banner in the description. The screenshot that I popped into the slide here is what the syllabus looks like on the sorry, I'm looking for something here. I don't see what I want. Oops. What the syllabus looks like for the Introduction to Teaching with Canvas class that I've been teaching and others have been teaching for @1. And the sections that I want to highlight are the, there is a banner, so we put in an image here. You see where it says course guide. A couple things that cannot be changed. The top, this word syllabus is there. That is what the link is named in course navigation. And then this title here, course syllabus, cannot be changed. That's Canvas's words for it. The calendar widget's on the right side there. We're looking at instructor's view, so I see the button here to edit the syllabus description. Within that description, which is above the table here, within the description are mostly words, but we do have a file link here. One of the things that I was that I learned about, and as we learned about as we were designing the course, was how to make this page relevant in terms of having the right information, but also not make it too long, because that automatically generated calendar and table at the bottom is pretty handy. And so the way we kind of met that compromise is by uploading a file into the editor, into the description rather, and then that file can be previewed. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the class itself. So here's the Canvas calls. I created a shell that I'm using for these weekly things. And so this is what the syllabus looks like right now. You can see that the syllabus is empty. This is what the default language is in the syllabus. The syllabus page shows the table into view, so on and so forth. This class has a couple of events already on the calendar, and you can see that it's the Canvas calls. So last week we talked about the course homepage. This week is making the most out of the syllabus. I'll probably be adding the other Canvas calls because I'll be using this thing throughout this series. And when I click on the button to edit the syllabus description, of course, it's the standard Canvas text editor, so I can do things like say, welcome to the class. Dave, what did you major in college?
Political science.
Okay. Political science, perfect. So I'm going to go to images here, and I'm going to find a Creative Commons image on Flickr, and I'm going to do a search for political science. What happens if I search for that?
Assembly, hall, meeting, lectern.
Here we go.
Maybe voting. There we go.
Okay, so here is, I just did a quick search within Flickr. For those of us who are new to the text box editor, hopefully that works as a demonstration of something. What's nice about that the embedded dialog insert content in the page is this is a Creative Commons licensed image, whoever posted this, so I don't have to worry about the licensing for this. You see where it says welcome to the class. I'm going to make that a heading 2. And then I'm going to post some Latin here and say that that's interesting information for the class. Now, again, there's a table that's at the bottom of the page that's going to have automatically generated anything in the due date and also all the assignments in the class. So I don't want to put too much information up top. Of course, the syllabus that I have, that I created for the class, does have a lot of important information. So I'm going to insert a file at this point here. And I've got that insert content dialog going. If I click on the Files tab, and then I'm going to upload a new file, and let me go find a syllabus on my computer. Here we go. Syllabus for my last history class. Click Open. And before I click Upload, one thing I'm going to mention about file management is I could pick a particular folder. In here, I actually have to go to Files to set one up, but I'll go ahead and leave this at the root level. There we go. There's the folder option. And then I'll click Upload. And I've uploaded the syllabus there. Because it's a PDF file, and Canvas can do this with a lot of files, it is previewable by the students within the class. This link is here, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of change the link text to make it a little bit user-friendly. And at this point, I'll click on the Update Syllabus button. And now what my students see when they click on the link syllabus, whether or not that's the home page of the class, they've got that wonderful banner. They've got the welcome to the class, my message, the words that I typed, and then, oops, I've got a link that they can click on to download the PDF file, but they can also click on the preview, and the inline file preview window will appear, and then my students could scroll within that window to view the syllabus. And this is the same syllabus that I have, emailed to my division office. It's the same syllabus that I have emails to my students in my welcome email that I sent. And so I didn't have to do anything special or different. I just went ahead and uploaded it as a file. So I'm going to pause there, switch over to the slide, and kind of ask if there's any questions. Or Dave, the faculty you've been working with, have they been doing similar things?
Absolutely. I haven't seen anybody really get too fancy or creative in here with the HTML as of yet, but so far this is very consistent with what I've seen faculty expecting to be able to do in this tool.
Yeah, I think that for me, as I work with faculty, one of the things I like to keep in my head is I'm giving advice saying how to use stuff is, what's going to be easiest for you as an instructor, because if it's easier for the instructor, then it's going to be easier for the students. And sure, instructors can do a lot of work, as some of us do, in terms of adding links and scripting stuff and all that. And so therefore it can make things good for our students. But in terms of the amount of time that we spend as instructors working with the technology, I think this is pretty slick. And in our @1 classes, we don't use the syllabus as the course homepage. We actually use a content page as that. But I'm pretty impressed with this, with how this works and how it can be useful for students. It mixes the course homepage things right, where as an instructor I have control over what's on the course homepage, but it's also dynamic in that what's relevant for students is something that does change over time. The next thing I was going to talk about on the syllabus is calendars and assignments. So that's an automatically generated table at the bottom of the page. And there are two things that are there. Anything that is added to the class calendar is automatically included, and any assignment is automatically included, even if the assignment does not have a due date. So this screenshot we're looking at here is something from one of my sandboxes where I had imported some stuff from D2L. Haven't done anything with that yet, but looked at the syllabus and saw, oh, this is interesting because those quizzes don't have any dates attached to them. I did not, I guess, manage that when I did the import. But you can see that this particular class did have some calendar events. So I had my class meeting schedule as part of the calendar. You see that there's a peer review survey that was due. This was back in the last spring. And then the final exam was on May 19th. So there were calendar events that I added that are there part of the syllabus. And then every assignment was there, even if it did not have a date. So in this class, right, I've got the 2 calendar events. And then what's nice about the syllabus is that it's a gray box or the table row is given a gray background color if it's an event in the past. So last week's Canvas call was is there, but it's in the past. The Canvas call right now is not grayed out because it is a current event. And so if I add a new event, I'll go ahead and do right now, it will be added to that thing. So I'll talk through this. It's something that I learned as well, and some folks in my classes have learned the hard way, is if you're going to create an event in the calendar, so I click on the calendar link in global navigation, it's important that the course that you want to add the event to, that course is selected here on the right side. So if I look at my Canvas Calls class and my History 125 Sandbox, when I create a new event, the calendar options will be whichever courses are selected in that calendar's dialog box on the right side. So if I select a bunch of my calendars, underwater basket weaving, come on, there we go. And my personal calendar. So now when I create an event, the calendar, I'll have many calendar options. So it's something to be aware of. Let's go ahead and make things easier for me by dropping all those other ones. So if I create a new event, this is going to be called the CCC Canvas Call. And the next one is going to be on next Thursday. That's March 3rd. That's going to be from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. The location is here in CCC Confer. And then the topic, now I don't happen to have that memorized, so I'm going to have to switch over to another view. Where's my other window? Nope. Okay, so let's open up a new window. Go to our Canvas community group and go to the calendar here. And I can see that the next topic is confusing course navigation links. Okay, so confusing course navigation links. So I created a new calendar event, right? I had to go to the calendar tools to do it. I made sure that my course that I'm working with was selected on the right side. Created my events, and not going to worry about more options. I click submit. So I can see that on March 3rd at Thursday at 11:30, I've got the next Canvas call coming up. And if I go back to my course, and on the syllabus, I can see that on March 3rd, that new event has been created. So again, that's something, a calendar event that I created for the course. What I have seen folks do in the past where they have gotten in trouble is when they create that calendar event, they add it to their personal calendar, which will not show up on the course calendar here on the syllabus. Or when they get to that stage where they're creating, they don't have their course selected on the right side there. So that's the calendar events that I've created. And then if I go to the assignments page, and I'm going to create a couple of assignments here just to kind of set some, show the examples. So I'll create a new assignment. I'm going to call it assignment number 1. Here are some instructions. We'll get into the details of the assignments in a future Canvas call, so I hope to see you there. But I'll just create this, and I'm not going to give it a date. I'll click Save and Publish. And then I'm going to create, go back to assignments, create another assignment, and I'm going to say assignment number 2. This one's going to have a due date. I will make this assignment due on March 2nd, and I'll go ahead and make it due on March 2nd at 10 a.m. and then click Save and Publish. So to review what I've just done in my class is I've got 2 assignments created. One has a due date. You can see on the assignments page it shows up due March 2nd, 10 a.m. The other one does not have a due date. If I take a look at my syllabus, I can see that that due date assignment number 2 is shows up with a date on it, and that assignment number 1 that does not have a due date shows up at the bottom of the table. Okay. And so again, to review, what's nice about the syllabus is that that table at the bottom, everything that's a course calendar event appears there. and every assignment appears there both with and without due dates. So from the student's perspective, if a student's coming in, they go to the syllabus, pretty important page for them. They can see the assignments that are due in the class, the other class events. And if a student clicks on Jump to Today, I think it does jump to that whatever events are going on today. So let's switch this over to Student View. So on the settings page, of course, I click on Student View. Dave, I don't know about your impressions, but to me, this Student View in Canvas is one of the things that is a tremendous improvement compared to the other systems that I've worked with, at least.
Yeah, in our training, we regularly refer to it as the MVP of all the tools because it really helps you gain the confidence to know what you are sharing with your students.
Yeah. I think for me, the MVP thing, I've got SpeedGrader up there pretty close because that's a pretty slick tool. So here we are in Student View, and this happens to be the course homepage, the syllabus is in this class. So the students see the banner, they see the text that I put, there's a preview there, that course calendar. Students have access to the calendar sold through this widget as well on the right side. The students would also see if they have new feedback they haven't read yet on graded assignments. And you can see that there's a to-do list that's created automatically, which is showing what assignments are coming up for that student. And from the student's perspective, they can click on a link in the calendar to, on the table in the syllabus to go directly to that event in the calendar. And they can, of course, click on an assignments link. This makes sense, and go see the assignment instructions and how they submit the assignment there. And again, I've already kind of reviewed this. The students can, oops, I opened in a new window. We're going to do too fast on the keyboard. I can click on the preview icon to preview that uploaded file within that syllabus. Oh, and I know what it was. I was going to check what happens when I click on the student's perspective on Jump to Today. So it does jump the in the table down to today. You can see that selected the event that's going on today, that's going on right now. Okay, so let's leave the student view. Back in my instructor view, what do I have next? Yeah, I'm back to my last slide is the final questions and comments. So let me go ahead and do a quick review here again. That the syllabus, it's so nice that what we can do is edit that description so that we can have some words welcoming the students to the class, perhaps add a banner or some type of image. From a design perspective, of course, I would suggest making the banner something that's a little bit wider than it is taller. But it is nice to have that to kind of add a little bit of a flavor to the class. And then if you upload a file into the description, that preview function is there so the students can look at the contents of the file within the browser window. They can also download it. And then finally, that automatically generated table is pretty useful because it can, it'll basically show the students like assignments when they're due, and if there are any special course events that have been added to the calendar, those will appear there as well. Okay, and this course actually is published. I created a dummy student, so I could look through this dummy student view here, but we're actually pretty good with that student, the test student view. Any particular comments or questions? Anything else? Anything else for the good of the order? We got the time, and we got the recording, and we have a transcriptioner. Thank you. So if there's anything else we want to add, I'd be happy to.
Greg, I think that's a very complete and comprehensive overview of the syllabus tool. I will only add that students that are accessing the course on the mobile app will have no trouble with the syllabus scrolling as the course entry point, if that is what it's going to be. On mobile app, I think it's all very well laid out. So.
Yeah, that's a good question. So on the mobile app, I know that all the Canvas stuff does scroll really well, but when you add images, does Canvas shrink the image down to fit within the mobile window?
As far as I could
You
tell,
know about that?
there is some resizing that definitely occurs. I haven't been faced with too much horizontal scrolling per se, but I think it's always a good idea to just encourage folks to, if they're uploading an image that they've either created themselves, to remember to keep it to 72 dpi and not to make it too big, because that will just come through really slowly as well. But and then of course alt text. But other than that, I think it works very flawlessly in the mobile app, where we expect a lot of our students to be accessing our course content on a smaller screen in the years ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I just did it. I'm gonna hold. I don't know how I would do this. So I could screenshot it on my iPhone. I could share it with my Mac because I have whatchamacallit. So I'm gonna do a couple things here. I'm gonna show the Canvas app. So this isn't the browser. This is the Canvas app in my iPhone, and I'm gonna share some screenshots, and hopefully this will. Yeah, it looks like I do have to do some left-right scrolling. So, okay. So what I'm doing now, I'll go ahead and just talk myself through it, is I use my iPhone, went into the Canvas app, looked at the same pages that we're looking at here, took some screenshots, and I'm going to go into my Photos app, and I'm going to share those screenshots with my computer. And because I happen to be using a Mac, I can select those and share those via a tool called AirDrop. There, my AirDrop is just saying that I got these 4 photos. So since I've got screen sharing going on, I'll just go ahead and pull these up. Let's go ahead and do this like this. So this is what the my iPhone screen looked like when I went into my CCC Canvas Calls course. So again, this is not the browser on the phone. This is the Canvas app, and you can see that the Canvas app, the home page is the course navigation in effect. Somebody's have to fit that all in, and then I clicked on I tapped on the link for Syllabus. This is what the syllabus looks like on the Canvas app. You can see that the syllabus at the top there, that has the image and the text and the file. So we'll see that in a moment. But then it adds at the bottom all the course calendar. So to look at what I uploaded, I tapped on the syllabus link, and then I saw this. You can see that the image did not quite. It was not resized fully to fit into the thing, although there was some resizing that was done. And then I had to swipe down to see the link to that PDF file, and then I also went ahead and swiped to the right a little bit to show you the edge of that file, edge of that image. Excuse me. So again, to review, the course homepage in the Canvas app, not the browser on the phone, but the Canvas app. Shows basically course navigation. The syllabus link on that app has a separate link for each of the calendar events and the assignments, separate from the link to the syllabus tool, and then separate from the link to the syllabus content. And then the syllabus content, it is there, the text, as well as the link to the file. The image that it did have to be did not quite fit, and there was some left-and-right scrolling. So overall, I think a pretty good thing. And thank you, Apple, for making sharing images so easily. Okay.
Greg, were you expecting the assignments and the due dates listed below in the syllabus and the desktop browser to appear on the syllabus page in the on the Canvas app?
You mean when I saw this list here?
So you saw your image and you saw the text that you entered for the syllabus, but not a correlating link, if you will, to the calendar events that would show in the syllabus tool on the desktop. I think they kind of expect us to just use the calendar features off that main menu, which it makes total sense to me, but I was not expecting it to not show at all.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, so this is my first time looking at it on my phone, and I thought that, I'm not surprised that the home page is this way. That makes sense to me, but right, but because that calendar link is on there on the screen, yeah, I guess it is a little bit of a surprise that it goes to this, where I have to tap a second time to see the content of the syllabus.
Right.
And so it's opening.
I think it still works. It's fully accessible in every respect that I can think of. I think the app is extremely intuitive to use. I'll just add here, Greg, that as we start to work with our faculty in the transition and full adoption, we're about 3 months away. We've kind of taken the tack of encouraging faculty to almost use not the constraints of what the mobile app will show or how it shows to a student, but to kind of reverse engineer the design of their course so that it's optimal for the mobile experience. So with regard to the image, for example, that's a really good finding today, that it does not automatically resize. Yeah,
that's a great suggestion. I remember. Were you on the selection committee?
On which committee? I'm sorry.
The selection committee for the CCMS.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. So you'll remember this, and I'm assuming this is okay to share, that when Canvas did their presentation, they actually started off with the mobile. That was their first one. The demonstration. The first thing they did is I think it was an iPad. They fired up their mobile and they looked at the app.
Right.
So
yeah,
they obviously
I think it's very telling, and I really do. I firmly believe that's where the majority of our students will be viewing the content, at least while they're on campus. I don't know about your campus, but our computer labs are not used as much as they have been in the past.
Yeah, I think ours are used, but I also know that we have a lot of mobile devices, and it's in our college and our district. We have been over the past couple of years talking a lot about and working on, and our district is doing its. Well, no, I'll say that we all got accredited, visited by accreditation this year, and in the January for our college and for our, one recommendation all the colleges shared was a district-wide technology plan, and it definitely includes mobile access and how we handle bring your own devices. I remember when I teach face-to-face classes, I actually encourage students to use their devices in class. I do some activities for that, so I know that for our initial rollout of mobile stuff on our campus was the access points and all that. We're focused on the cafeteria and the lobby and the exterior of buildings, and only in the past couple of years have we thought about and worked on improving access inside the classrooms, right, for mobile devices, and
right,
of course, yeah.
I think that's a very common chain of events per se. Our campus has gone from considering building a mobile app to understanding that responsive design is a pretty holistic approach to re-envisioning our web presence. I think the same goes for course content. So I'm very happy to see what Canvas provides in terms of editing tools and presentation and the consistency for the student experience in the mobile app.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'd like to go ahead and thank you for being here, Dave, and thank everyone who has watched or will watch the recording of this. I hope that it's useful for you. Look forward to seeing everyone at the next Canvas community call, and there's a link here. I'll just go ahead and click on that, pull up a page with the upcoming call will be on Course navigation. So I'll be talking about my experience and what I've heard about which links are in course navigation, and also how to set up some customized course navigation links. Within the Canvas community, so let me go ahead and get there again. Within the Canvas community for our system, there is a document called Canvas Call Recordings, and what I've been doing there is adding links to the upcoming calendar events, and also adding links to the archives as those become available. So hopefully later today, there will be an archive a link added to today's session, and of course the access information for next session is there as well. I hope that this community tool, this group, is useful for all of us, and most importantly, of course, that we find a way to leverage this to make our system and our tools work better for our students. Thanks.
Excellent, Greg. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks.